Well, hello, everybody, on this first Thursday of May 2023. See what I'm holding up? You got it, the commemorative pocket square from the coronation of Charles III as the next King of England. And yes, you can have one too, along with commemorative plates, swizzle sticks, napkins, playing cards, mugs. Don't forget your tea towels. And thousands of folks are here for this. In fact, London is chock-a-block, as they like to say. I'm here as well, covering the coronation. First one in about 53 years. Doesn't happen that often. And of course, we all know that the Brits do weddings, funerals, and we're about to see coronations better than just about anybody. Peter Greenberg, of course, with you for our global travel update, this time from London. Of course, get your questions in, peter@petergreenberg.com, and happy to entertain those. Lots of stuff to talk about beyond the coronation, but let's just talk about the coronation to get that out of the way. They're going to be spending about $120 million for this one. By the way, that's a reduced budget in the new era of King Charles III of paring the crown down. He'll be riding in the gold carriage, though. He'll be leaving Buckingham Palace on Saturday, about 11 o'clock in the morning British time, and head over to Westminster Abbey for the actual coronation and then back. The streets will be lined with thousands of people and all waving flags and having a great time. Alcohol may be involved, but the beautiful thing about it is it's a tradition that nobody does better than the Brits. And for those people who are anti-monarchists, of course, they are reminded about the fact that the crown and the royal family are huge engines and drivers of tourism and travel revenue to this country in the billions of dollars, because people are still fascinated with the royals. As we know, of course, even Andrew will show up, and Harry, not Meghan. My guess is Harry will be sitting behind a pillar, sort of like in the cheap seats at Yankee Stadium in the old days when Yankee Stadium had pillars. That goes back to my childhood. But he'll be here, won't be here long. And of course, every hotel is full. All the restaurants are full. You can't get a reservation. The bars are all serving coronation drinks. One is called the Sovereign, of course, with the king's favorite gin, et cetera, et cetera. All the heads of state are here from many different countries around the world, not just the Commonwealth countries. Jill Biden is here, the First Lady. And we will see what happens 11 o'clock UK time on Saturday, the 6th, 2 days from now. All right, now let's get to the news because there's a lot of it. We have the makings of, for lack of a better term, of a perfect storm for this summer of travel. We're talking about leadership vacuum at the FAA, the acting administrator stepping down. Perfect timing because there's an air traffic controller shortage. They've already asked the airlines to cut back 10% of their flights in the Northeast corridor because they don't have enough controllers to monitor it and control them. That's a bad situation. We have airfares at historic highs, hotel rates at historic highs. We have the TSA announcing, get ready, there'll be huge long lines at the airports this summer. Get ready for that. And then the American Airlines Pilots Union has voted to authorize a strike, and it's imminent that the Southwest Airlines unit, the union for pilots, may authorize a similar move. But we're not done yet. It's the airline schedules themselves. They're now flying fewer flights on larger planes, but they're also flying to airports at more concentrated hours. So the next time you're at an airport and it seems like everybody you ever knew in your life is there, it's probably because they are. Is it any wonder that there's always like a line of 80 or 90 people that try to get into the Delta Airlines Sky Club? It's a joke, but it's all happening. Oh, and by the way, I haven't even thrown in weather, and you know what we're getting into for the summer of 2023. We've got to figure this out. It's not like it's a surprise. It's not like I didn't tell you. It's not like we haven't been reporting this for the last 6 months. Who's going to fix it? Where is the leadership at the FAA? Where is the leadership at the Department of Transportation? That's the key. Forget the leadership in Congress. We don't have time to wait for them to get things out of committee. We have to figure it out now because we love to travel. I buried the lead. After everything I just told you, this summer, the travel demand will exceed the travel numbers of 2019. I mean, the writing's not just on the wall's falling down from the weight of the writing. Now, I'm not panicking. I'm not telling you to run or the sky is falling. I'm just telling you, be prepared. It's not going to be a fun summer going to or through most airports. And speaking of going through most airports, let's talk about airline schedules. This is the one that drives me the most, well, not the most. I got another one coming up after that. But in terms of airline schedules, why should airlines be allowed to publish schedules that at the moment they publish them, they have to know they can't support them? Why are they doing this delusional act? What makes them think that a 33-minute connect time between flights is even possible, let alone, not delusional? I'll give you an example. I was in Puerto Rico a couple of nights ago. I flew down on Delta. I was on a 737 from JFK. They've crammed in as many seats as they can possibly cram in on these planes. The actual passenger load on that 737 was 180. Every seat was full. All right? Good. And that's great news for Delta. But then when we landed in San Juan, I waited for the plane to get to the gate. And the minute it got to the gate, literally, and they opened the door, I took out my stopwatch to see how long it was going to take people to actually leave the airplane. Anybody want to guess? If you were in the middle of the plane, an average of 23 minutes in the middle of the plane. So how do you publish connect times of 33 minutes? That's cruel and unusual punishment for everybody. So get ready. It's going to have to change. And until it does change, I said this last week, I said it the week before, I'm going to have to say it again next week. When you make an airline reservation on a schedule that involves connecting flights, please do yourself a favor. Build in at least 2 hours, I like to say 2.5, of connect time. Because with every plane being full, if your first flight is late and you miss that connecting flight, they can't put you on the one after that because it's already full. And I don't think we live our lives to spend the night in the rocking chair at the Charlotte airport. I don't care how much you like rocking chairs. So don't wait for the airlines to change their schedules. Make it a point. Make it a non-negotiable point that you will not fly on a connecting flight of less than 2 hours in between. It just doesn't make sense, and it will not work. And and that doesn't even include if you check bags. You think your bags are going to make the connection in 33 minutes? I'm sorry. Unless you're making a connection in Madison, Wisconsin, where there may be 4 gates and you're connecting from one gate to another and it's 80 feet apart and they know you're coming and everybody's ready for the sprint team, you still might not make it because of how long it takes you to get off the first plane in the first place. All right, so there's that. Now, I'm just getting started. Next on my list, if I've said this before, but I'm going to bring it up because it happened again in Puerto Rico this week. It's the dreaded resort fees at hotels. Now, I name names on this show, and I'm going to name it now. It's the Sheraton Hotel in San Juan. It's next to the convention center there. I was there to speak to the American Society of Travel Advisors and to work on some stories, one of which then became, again, this dreaded resort fee. When you check into that hotel, they give you a card, right? Which seems like it's a great deal. They're going to give you 2 free drinks at the pool. Okay. When you get to your hotel room, you look at the card again, and it's basically explaining to you not their resort fee. No, they came up with a clever little new name for it, the destination fee. And what's on that card? Well, for that destination fee of $35 a night, so if you're there 4 nights, that's $170, or excuse me, that's $140 you didn't budget for, right? You get 2 free rum drinks. Try to control your excitement. You know what else they give you? Yep, it's coming. Free yoga classes. Let me tell you what a free yoga class means to me at that hotel. It's the opportunity while doing downward dog to contemplate why anybody in their right mind would accept paying $35 a night for a resort fee, or if they want to call it a destination fee. It's stupid. So guess what? I went to the front desk when I checked out, and they said, "Oh, you have to pay the destination fee." I said, "I used none of these services. I didn't ask for any of these services. I'm not paying the fee." And they said, "Well, you have to pay the fee. You already put it on your credit card." I said, "Will you please take it off?" "No." "Can I have a manager here?" "Not available." I said, "No problem. What are you doing Thursday about noon Eastern time?" Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the hotel is the Sheraton in San Juan. They're on my doo-doo list because they're once again not disclosing the destination fee when you make your reservation. They only disclosed it in that card which you looked at once you got to your room, and then they wouldn't take it off. This is cruel and unusual punishment. They're trying to do another tax dodge. The courts have not been nice to these hotels in the recent past. There will be new rulings filed by state attorneys general. Get ready for it, for failure to disclose and lack of transparency. And get ready for some maybe rulemaking from the Federal Trade Commission. But until that happens, you get to hear from me. And one of the things I'm telling you right now is if you're about to check into the Sheraton in San Juan or any other hotel that wants to hit you with a resort fee you didn't want to pay for because you don't need it and you never asked for it, it is negotiable. Or you just vote with your wallet and not stay there. And if you want to hear how outrageous resort fees are, and I'm not making this up, we saw it earlier this week. I'm going to share it with you. There's a resort out in Long Island called Gurney's out in Montauk for 1 2-night stay. Now, do the math on this, it gets crazy. For 1 2-night stay, they charged one guest a resort fee of, not the room rate. No, don't get confused. It wasn't the room rate. It was a resort fee of $563. Are you kidding me? It's no longer a joke. It's a tax dodge. It's lack of transparency. It's failure to disclose. And someone might actually suggest it could be fraud. Who knows? What I do know is we vote with our wallets, and you should too. All right? I just have to tell you that because this is nuts. All right, let's say hello to some people here. Let me scroll down here and say hi to everybody. Patrick Cooney saying hi from LAX. Scott saying from sunny Chicago. Colleen says, oh, greetings from Nîmes. We've been in Nîmes. We love Nîmes. It's they've got some great ruins there, by the way, in that city. You need to walk around and see it. Even the small little Colosseum there. We're helping the locals celebrate the Roman days of Nîmes. Right, it's the Roman ruins. Good for you. Okay, let's keep going down here. Cheryl's saying hi from Louisiana. All right. And Willie's saying hi from Atchison. Willie's there. I'm telling you, Atchison's being heard from every week by Willie. Thank you. Camilla's saying hi from Tucson. Evelyn's saying hi from Denver. All right. If you saw the photograph we posted yesterday before I got on the plane to come here, I was in the old TWA terminal at JFK, which is now, of course, the TWA Hotel. Because it's a landmark building, they had to keep architecturally everything that they had when they found it before they restored it, including the Saarinen design, and of course the distinctive red carpet. For those people who remember the movie 2001, you'll remember that scene. And of course, the red carpet is still there. They even have a Constellation parked, a Constellation that used to fly for Lufthansa, and now in TWA colors. And that's one of the bars and reception areas. Very cool concept if you're ever changing planes in Kennedy, as I did yesterday. Take the air train over to Terminal 5. That's where the TWA Hotel is. And even if you're not staying at the hotel, go have a drink. Go up to the roof to the pool bar. That's right. There's a beautiful infinity pool on the roof. And if you're a plane watcher like I am, not a bad place to be. Okay, hi from Bellingham, Washington, says Sue. I was in Spain as I missed you last week. I did not know that, but thank you, Sue. Scott's saying, long live the king. Yeah, let's talk about that. This is the first coronation in 53 years. I don't think we're going to have to wait 53 years for the next one, with all due respect. The current king, as of this Saturday, I believe is either 73 or 74. Now, let's face it, the Queen Mother, his grandmother, lived to be, I think, 101. His mom lived to be 96. So they got some pretty strong genes there. So who knows about the DNA? But I doubt we're going to wait 53 years for another coronation. But it's worth watching. All right. All right, Steve Sturm, my buddy from Southern California. Mary Jo, hello from Pennsylvania. Wondering what time I need to be at MIA for a 9 a.m. international flight. Okay, you didn't tell me what day of the week. That would be helpful. But assuming it's Monday through Friday, I would say 6:30 in the morning is a good time, just to make sure you get through security and you get what you need. Okay? Okay. Sandy's saying, rescheduled our trip to Egypt 3 times because of the gem opening. Actually, because of the gem not opening. We are leaving on Thanksgiving Day. No dysfunctional family dinner. You read what I say for 2 weeks. Any info on the gem opening in the fall, as we are not changing our trip again. The pharaohs built the pyramids faster. You're absolutely right. But guess what? They've already built the gem. It's already functioning. We're waiting for the president of Egypt to see how many heads of state he can invite for the glamorous opening, but nothing's happened yet. Now, I'm still told it's going to be November this year, but I have to warn you, I was told it was going to be November last year. We'll try to get more information, but you're right. As I like to say, whenever I'm in Egypt, no inshallah, 8 o'clock. They didn't hear me, but I'll find out if I can. All right. All right. Willie's saying post-COVID is showing us a major problem in the airline industry. The fact that airlines can publish their schedules 11 months in advance with no idea whether or not they can actually fly it. Well, I got news for you, Willie. They're not publishing their schedule 11 months in advance. In some cases, they're publishing their schedule 11 days in advance, fully knowing they can't operate it. That's where it's really wrong. I mean, you just can't do that. Look, any airline knows you publish schedules based on season, the passenger flow, weather, et cetera, et cetera. That part you got. That's the basics. That doesn't really change that much. But I don't care whether it's winter, summer, spring, or fall. You don't publish schedules with 33-minute connect times, no matter what time of year it is. Doesn't make any sense. All right. Here we go. Oh, Frank Radis, my good pal. Frank, I'm in London. Text me. I want to see you. All right. Hello from New Jersey to Wendy. Okay. Sam is saying, I hate resort fees, especially in Las Vegas. Look, again, vote with your wallets. If you're booking through a travel agent, tell the travel agent you will not book any hotel that has a resort fee. Let them carry the message for you. Resort fees are a scam. They are a tax dodge about paying occupancy taxes on room rates. But a resort fee is not a room rate. It only gets taxed at a local sales tax rate, which is significantly less than the 20% that most municipalities charge for occupancy taxes. It's as simple as that. It's no different what airlines do for checked bags, right? Airline fares are taxed at a very high federal excise tax. So for a $100 fare, the airline may only net $28. But if it's a $100 bag fee, the airline's only taxed at maybe 7%. They net $93. That should tell you what we're talking about here. And that explains the business model of Frontier and Spirit and other ultra low-cost carriers. Okay. Okay, Wendy says, if the hotels get called out on their resort fees by the FTC in the near future, would they be forced to disclose resort fees? Well, they're actually, in some court cases, already forced to disclose resort fees, but not many of them have actually adhered to the court ruling. Look, the battle is broken up into a couple of areas. One, failure to disclose. The fact that they are now maybe going to start disclosing them doesn't necessarily require you to agree to it or to pay for it. All this requires is a conversation, which is why you don't book online. You book through a human being and have that conversation with somebody who's empowered to understand what you're saying and what it means. Remember, it's not how much that resort fee costs. It's how much it's worth to the hotel if you don't show up because of it. All right, let's keep going. Hello to Jew in Japan. Tammy is saying La Mesa. Oh, she's in La Mesa. All right. Hello, Tammy. Yes, Evelyn says, memories. TWA, I walked up and down that tunnel for 28 years. You know, I remember so many times I took the TWA Transcon from New York to Los Angeles. In fact, Evelyn, you probably remember this flight because it was notorious at TWA. It was the last flight of the day from JFK to LAX. It was TWA Flight 849. I remember it well because within TWA, they never called it TWA Flight 849. They called it TWA Flight Late 49 because it started in Rome and was never on time to JFK. Therefore, it was never on time to LAX. So there you have it. I know a lot of friends who flew 849 because they knew they could have dinner in New York and still make the flight. That's how late it was. Okay. Hi from Atlanta to Dawn. When should we book airfare to Jackson Hole in August? You can do that now. And I'll tell you why. Because even though Jackson Hole is a very popular winter ski destination, more people go to Jackson Hole in the summer than they do in the winter now. And so do it now. All right. Okay, what does a resort fee consist of? Oh, I love that question. All right, look, Joy, the answer to that question is no one knows. They have search and rescue teams trying to find out what's in a resort fee. It's anything the hotel wants to put in there to make you think you're getting value. I mean, seriously. A wonderful reporter from the Washington Post was on our radio show recently who did this story about the most ridiculous resort fee inclusions to try, like, for example, our resort fee includes filtered water. Yeah, that's the water that comes out of the sink. You get it? Please stop trying to play with us. We know better. Okay. Winston says, hi from DFW and Love Field Country, where I have to add my wife's known traveler number every time I make a reservation. No, Winston, you don't. Here's how you do it. Go on the airline's own websites, whether it's American at DFW or Southwest at Love or any other airline you're flying. When you make your reservation on their website or on their app, you can insert your known traveler number, your mileage number. Not that you're going to ever be able to redeem the miles, but it's a fun game to play for masochists, and your date of birth and everything else, so that when you go and then you save it, so that the next time you come in to make a reservation, it's locked in and it gets printed out on your boarding pass. Okay. All right. Willie says, can you access the pool if you're not staying at the TWA hotel? Surprised they don't make it part of the resort fee. The answer to that question is I don't know, but we'll find out and I'll get you that answer. I did not go swimming yesterday, so we'll find out. All right, here we go. All right, what does Mr. Edwards have to say? Hi from St. Thomas. Okay, my family and I will be on Fire Island for 2 weeks celebrating Susan and my 50th winter anniversary. Well, Don, I should tell everybody watching, I grew up on Fire Island. I grew up with Don. Don was the legendary lifeguard. I looked up to him every single day, along with his brothers. He's been living in St. Thomas for a while now. He's a mean guitar player as well. And I will look forward to reminiscing with you back on Fire Island this summer, Don. Thank you for checking in. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. Hello from Tanzania. Hello back to Naomi. Jeff is saying, what is Jeff saying here? Oh, you're absolutely correct on the 2.5-hour connect times. 2 weeks ago, I flew LAX to Frankfurt on Lufthansa with an hour and a half connect time, departed LAX 30 minutes late, which the pilot did not make up. At Frankfurt, they automatically rebooked me on a later flight. I was able to run through the airport, get through passport check, and to the gate during final boarding. Lucky for me, the gate agent was nice, called to approve me staying on that flight, and I made it to Prague as scheduled. Well, look, if Lufthansa is already rebooking you with a 1-hour connect time, you already know how ludicrous the 33-minute connect time is. And by the way, anybody going to Lufthansa, I don't care what they say about the efficiency of German engineering, they screwed it up at the airport in Frankfurt. When you land at Frankfurt, I hope you have motorized roller skates. You are going to be doing a lot of racing and stair climbing. And this is considered a modern airport. All right. Hello, Cynthia. Aha. My good pal Cynthia from Paris. Nice to see you online here. Okay. Frank Rada says, oh, I will not be attending the coronation, even though I live in London. I've had to avoid all the in Hyde Park. Yeah, we understand. A lot of horses out there, a lot of cleanup on aisle 5. All right. Hello again from Tanzania. Okay. Thank you guys. We love this. All right. Willie is saying in Las Vegas, the resort fees are ridiculous. I have comped room offers with MGM, but I still have to pay the resort fee. No, you don't. Look, here's my rule. You never take a no from somebody who's not empowered to give you a yes in the first place. Whoever you're talking to doesn't have the power to give you a yes. Find that person. Now, if they say it's no, then you have another choice to make. Do I want to stay there at all? Vote with your wallets on this. This is insidious. It's insulting. And we all know what it is. All right. All right, here we go. Oh, okay. I'm trying to avoid checking my bags on my flight from Washington Dulles to London and onward to Croatia. Any ideas on how to meet the carry-on bag size and weight requirements? Yes, Talia. This just in. Pack lighter. Pack lighter. Right? Look, one pair of shoes, one little black dress that's the all-purpose dress, right? Enough underwear that you can also wash when you get there, and a couple of essentials. You can buy all your lotions and potions when you get there. There you go, if that's what you really want to do. Remember, I don't know what airline you're flying from Dulles to London, but it's either going to be United or British. And my guess is, they're going to have those bag sizers at the gate. You know what the dimensions are. You can find those dimensions, by the way, on their website. Every airline is different. Right. And that also includes weight. Even if you're checking in bags, some airlines have a 50-pound limit. Some have a 70-pound limit based on what class of service you're flying. And some have a 40-pound limit. And we've all seen the scenes at the counters where people have their luggage strewn all over the floor. By the way, I was one of them trying to reorganize your bags to figure out what weighs the heaviest that you can wear on the plane so that you meet the baggage limits without having to pay $200 to $300. All right. Okay. Oh, Evelyn says there is an access fee if you want to use the pool. Yeah, but you know what? If you're changing planes at Kennedy, we're back to the TWA hotel. If you're changing planes at Kennedy and you're going to be using the pool, well, you're going to have to want to change clothes too. There's an access fee for that. I can live with that. But the resort fee, give me a break. Okay. I mean, an access fee for people who aren't even guests, I support that. I get it. But not for guests. Okay, let's scroll back up again. We got lots of other people to talk to. And by the way, this calls out for a conversation with your travel provider, right? Now that could be a travel agent. It could be an airline, a hotel, or a cruise line. But if you're doing it online, who do you call? Ghostbusters? You don't. You have to have that conversation, because if you're just motivated by the posted rate, you're going to be really motivated when you get your bill, because they ain't going to be on it. I mean, it'll be part of it, but that's not enough. It's not the total bill you're going to have to pay, right? And when I get my bill, by the way, from the Sheraton in San Juan, and it's got that, $105 resort fee or destination fee on it, the first thing I'm going to dispute the charge with my credit card company, and then I'll be back on this show every week calling them out on again, because this practice has to stop. Now, having said that, let's be fair. I want to be clear here. I do not deny any hotel the opportunity to make a profit. That's why they're in business. I get that. But I do deny them the opportunity to be nefarious. I do deny them the opportunity not to be clear. I do deny them the opportunity not to be transparent. That's not negotiable. All right? I'm the kind of guy, this got me in trouble in every school I was ever in. And may I say, I got thrown out of every school I was ever in. And if I was back to school today, I'd do the exact same thing. I'd probably get thrown out again. I do it proudly. Why? Because I'm the kind of guy that if I'm driving down the road and you tell me the speed limit's 65 miles an hour, I'm going to say, could you tell me why? And if your answer is, well, we've done all the research and at 66 miles an hour, you're going to die a fiery death and you're not going to come back from the living, my response will be, wow, thank you so much for telling me I'll drive 55. But if you tell me the speed limit's 65 miles an hour and I ask why, and your answer is because, or it's our policy, I got news for you. I'm driving 80 because you haven't made your case. I appeal to anybody in the hotel business watching this program right now. Please either email me, come online right now, call me, text me, WhatsApp me, make your case for why you need resort fees. I had dinner the other night with a hotelier who told me, what are they? I said, where does that resort fee money go to? He says, we pay it as part of a union settlement. A union settlement of what? I said, and you pay all that money to the union? Oh, no, we keep half. Keep half for what? Look, give me the room rate I'm going to pay for the room and what's ever in that room. Don't tell me that the Wi-Fi or the $9 bottle of water or the extra towel is going to cost me $35 a night more as a resort fee. That is a declaration of war if you hadn't noticed already. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm scrolling down. Okay. Natalia saying I'm flying Virgin Atlantic and then British Airways. I'll try my best to pack as light as possible. Don't want to depend on an airline to get my bags on many connecting flights. Well, let me give you one other thought about flying to Heathrow. And this is what the airlines don't tell you. Do you know what the minimum connect time that the airlines will accept just for you to connect at Heathrow? It's 3 hours. That's right, especially if you're connecting between one airline and a different airline. Do you know what the minimum connect time they'll accept for your bags to connect at Heathrow? It's 4 hours, but they don't tell you that. So even if you give yourself a 3 hour connect time, your bags may still be stuck in London. This is nuts. All right, let's keep going. Winston says, years ago I worked at Gurney's. They charged the band for valet parking. And you were performing there. Wow, I can't wait to hear the song you performed to celebrate them. Okay. Here's one. Sue says, I got letters in the mail from Italy with speeding tickets from October. Any advice on what to do if they're legit? Well, here's an easy question. Sue, were you in Italy in October? Were you driving a car? If the answer to those two questions is yes, then where were the tickets issued? Were they issued perhaps on the road where you were driving? If that's the case, you have a choice. You cannot pay the ticket, at which point they may divide and multiply like some bizarre demented amoeba. And the next time you go back to Italy, you'll find yourself in prison or with a much higher fine to pay. Or you can roll the dice and hope for the disorganized country known as Italy to figure it out. Right? But remember, you got that bill from who? The government or the rental car company? Which one was it? If it was the rental car company, you better pay it, because now you'll be blackballed and blacklisted from renting a car with that company. Right? Now, conversely, you could also go to court in Italy, but then there's the airfare and the hotel. Oh, yeah, and the resort fee. So you figure it out. Okay, let's keep going. You know what? I think it's time to do the photo of the week. How about that? Can we do that? And there it is. All right. Who took that photo of the week? I'm going to give him a little. It's. I'm looking for it right now because I had it. And somehow it went away. Here it is. I found it. The photo of the week, Richard Yellen, and he writes, I'm visiting my 104th country. How cool is that? This is Anse Royal Beach in the island nation of the Seychelles. Richard, I hope you brought a lot of money, because in the Seychelles, you need to go get an estimate just to get a Diet Coke. But congratulations. And by the way, I can tell you for a fact, the ocean looks just like that in the Seychelles. You didn't use a filter on your camera. That's the Indian Ocean. We love it. Temperature here is in the mid-80s every day with 80% humidity. And some days there's a brief shower. That's the beauty of it. It rains for about an hour and then it's beautiful again. It's even beautiful when it rains. Richard, thank you for sending that photograph. We love the light, because the ocean really does look like that. If you've got a photo that you think qualifies as the photo of the week, you know exactly what to do. Send it to Peter at petergreenberg.com. And if we agree with it, it goes on just like Richard's does. We asked you, by the way, earlier this week, the question, do royal weddings, funerals, or now coronations influence your decision to visit the United Kingdom? And we got some interesting answers. Carol says, no, the huge crowds make me not want to attend. Sue said, nope. Donna said, they influence me not to go. Everything goes up during that time and crowds are larger with delays. You're right. And for those commemorative plates, they're all made in China anyway. But, you can fake it. All right. Colleen says, I love the British people, but coronations, not so much. How do you know you don't love coronations so much? The last one was 53 years ago. You're talking about other ceremonies, I'm sure. I left London just in time, hopped on the first train out of Paris to a remote area of Provence. I also love the French, but demonstrations, not so much. I love that. Thank you, Colleen. Linda says she's coming to London for the Trippy of the Colors in June. I've been here for that. It's great. Talk about colors, exactly as it applies. I went up to the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. I was here as well. Waited 6 hours by the Thames to watch the flotilla, but that was okay because you and I both know alcohol was involved. It was the best time. People were friendly and happy. Spoke to people from all over the world, many of whom were drinking. There you go. And many of you also answered you'll watch it on television, as many of you will day after tomorrow. Other questions just came in. I'll answer right now. This is an appropriate question from Jill. How much is a hotel stay now for the coronation compared to what normally is? Well, here's the interesting development. Normally, if you were having a coronation at this time of the year, the room rates would go up about 1.5 times. But this is not a normal period of travel. Remember, travel demand has been sustained. It's still as strong now as it was 6 months ago, even when we thought it would drop off after September. So the room rates now are not 1.5 times higher. They're 2.5 times higher. That's how tough it is. In Paris, a room at some hotels is $2,000 a night now. It's crazy. Michelle says, I wish you would talk about the Airbnb fees or VRBO fees. Well, you know what, Michelle? I have talked about them, and I'll talk about them again because you think I just talk about resort fees. Here's the thing you got to watch out for: Airbnb and VRBO fees, which they don't necessarily tell you when you make your reservation. It's called cleaning fees. You better negotiate those upfront in advance with the host or with the transactional company that's doing it. Otherwise, you're going to get some sticker shock. Mike wants to know, where do I go to get my genealogy research done on the Hidden Ireland show? That's right. When we did Hidden Ireland, which, by the way, is airing now on PBS as well as Amazon Prime, I went to the Irish Family History Center in Dublin. They do an amazing work on genealogy there, and the work that they did on me was just staggering. No, I'm not Irish, but you'll have to watch the show to see who I really am. That was crazy. And they did their homework. They got it right, but who knew? Scott says, what's the latest on passport renewal times? Not pretty, Scott. Still 10 to 12 weeks for renewals, 12 to 14 weeks for new applications. Now, you can go through expediting services. These are outside private expediting services that will run you anywhere, depending on how badly you need a passport and how soon you need it, between $200 and $800, because that's how long the backlog is through normal channels. Richard said, I heard you say it's getting tougher to get your miles and points redeemed. Why is this? Richard, I'm not going to answer that question this week. You know why? Because my answer will take 1 hour. I will devote an entire show to it, because I will just leave you with this teaser, and I mean every word of it. What was started as one of the most innovative marketing ideas and concepts of the 20th century back in 1981, the Airline frequent flyer program, the loyalty program, has now morphed into something that some legal scholars could easily classify as a criminal act of fraud. How's that for a teaser for next week or the week after? You'll get that from me. I'm just going to build it up and talk to you about it, because if you thought resort fees make me mad, I completely lose it when it comes to frequent flyer miles. And many of you will too when you hear exactly what I have to say, and I have the numbers to back it up. So we'll do that next week, okay? In the meantime, just a little bit of housekeeping. I mentioned Hidden Ireland. Hidden Aegean is also on the air right now on PBS, Amazon Prime, and Apple TV+. The Travel Detectives premieres the next season next week. I hope you get a chance to watch it. It also is not just on PBS, but Amazon Prime and Apple TV Plus. I'll see you on the radio this Saturday from guess where? Right here, Coronation Weekend. So I hope you'll join us. In the meantime, have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. And remember, resort fees are a really bad idea. Deal with it. Have a conversation. Don't pay them unless they can justify it. And by the way, they can't. I'll see you next week, guys.